So statistically, it costs a contractor about $250 to put a truck and a technician in a driveway for 45 minutes. That's what it costs. We take a look at what a company needs to be profitable, what their average ticket is, what their minimum ticket needs to be, whether it's per ticket or per truck per day or per month or quarterly, whatever. We really take that dive and look at it.
And exactly. So my next question for you would be, all right, so you're usually involved in extreme cases, but take the average contractor. He's in the house for maybe it's a comfort advisor just in the house for a sales call, or maybe it's just a technician that's there to fix something. In your mind, so they weren't called there, let's say, for an IAQ type purpose. It's just a day-to-day call. And like you said, the pressure there unfortunately for a lot of companies is to get your guy in and out of the house and just, get the number of calls in per day. For the folks that are interested in starting those conversations on those types of calls, what would you say? How do you actually start that conversation? Is there something that you can find as a common thing for someone to remember? Like, how do I start that? What do I say? What do I do without being overbearing or
I'm going to kind of bring this into the new flat rate. And so
Okay.
I don't think I told at the beginning. So my company is Dynamic Air Consulting, which I am a indoor air quality and home performance consultant. I also am a indoor air quality trainer for Daikin Amana Goodman. But one of the other hats I wear is I'm a business coach and field service trainer for the new flat rate. Now, the new flat rate is a built for you menu pricing system. Now, we are a software and process development company. We are a process driven industry. There should be a process for everything. There was a process for us to get on this call today, right? It started with and then we built a link and so, but there's a process for everything. And so that's what we do. And so we take a look at what a company needs to be profitable, what their average ticket is, what their minimum ticket needs to be, whether it's per ticket or per truck per day or per month or quarterly, whatever. We really take that dive and look at it, and then we train them on what needs to be different. And so in our process, we're a scripted process. And so let's take a maintenance call. And so those have been through my IAQ training, and here's the cool thing: the new flat rate, we do demand service, right? And so we do maintenance, but we do HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and we just launched our chimney cleaning and repair page. And then Rodney Coop and myself developed the very first and only in our industry building science and indoor air quality menu pricing system, and it is phenomenal.
Wow.
And it starts with discovery, right, and takes you all the way through. So if we were to use a maintenance, for instance, and so your technician is there to do a maintenance, and so it starts with a knock on the door, and the client answers. You say, "Hey, I'm John. I'm with Dynamic Air Consulting. What brings us out here today?" "Well, I think you're here to do a maintenance." "Oh, that's right. I just wanted to make sure because I got a lot of calls," right? So you don't want to, so it's very smooth. You step in and out of the script, once you know it. And so you ask for permission to come in because, you don't want to stand on the front porch. "Hey, you mind showing me around? Thermostat's there. Furnace is down in the basement. Condensing unit's out on the side." "Oh, fantastic. Just to clarify, did the office tell you what all's entailed in our maintenance?" A lot of people don't even know. I was on a call and I was in Novi, Michigan. And we go into this house. This is a nice house. And we go in, we're there, we do the greeting, we're here to do the maintenance. Her phone rings and she answers the phone. She goes, "Just a minute." She answers the phone. She goes, "Hey, the filter guys are here. Can I call you back?" That's what she thought a maintenance was. The filter.
Filter guys.
The filter guys are here. And so little did she know what all we do. I mean, we're doing combustion analyzing and airflow and all the components. We're doing the real maintenance. And so, hey, just to clarify, did the office tell you what all's entailed? And they're going to say yes or no. And it's like, well, let's go over it again. We're going to go through the mechanical systems, the safety systems, and the performance systems of your equipment today. We want to make sure the equipment's running the best it can. And we here at Dynamic Air Consulting believe that safety is no accident for you and your family. That is a top priority for us. And the performance systems kind of help make sure you're not overpaying on your utility bills. By the way, how's everything been running? They're going to tell you any strange noises, smells, anything out of the ordinary. They're going to tell you yes or no. And if they say, everything's been running fine, well, awesome. So then you say, well, I'm going to go get started. And I know you said everything's been running fine, but if I were to come across something that is of a concern to me that could cause you problems in the future, what would you like me to do about it? Well, I'd like you to tell me about it. So what did I just do? I set the table.
Yep.
Each step sets the table. 1, we got our greeting, right? So we're there. 2, they didn't know what a maintenance was. Now they do. 3, I asked for permission to bring anything to them so it's not a surprise. So I'm setting the table. So my next question would be, say, hey, one more question. Is there anybody in the home that has any allergies, asthma, broncho, or respiratory issues we need to know about? They're going to say yes or no. Let their yeses be yes and their no's be no. If they say no, fine, we're going to go and get started. And if they say yes, little Johnny's got asthma or whatever, you know what? Our company's running a special and I can do a 30-minute air assessment for free today. Is that something you're interested in? Oh, that would be great. We take out our air advice, we set it up, we go do our maintenance. In 30 minutes, I got a report to my phone. So we would do our maintenance and we'd go through everything. If we found something that is of a concern, of course, we would bring it back to them. But at the end of the calls, we're closing it out. It'd be, hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I got that report and it came back. And based on some national averages from the EPA, National Lung Association, and National Heart Association, some of your levels were a little high. But don't worry, I have some options. Would you like to go over that now? And so let their yeses be yes and their no be no. If they say yes, guess what? We have a conversation. And then you'll show the report. And it's like, we've got high carbon dioxide. Your particulate level's a little high. We've got high TVOCs. Humidity is a little high, whatever it may be. That starts the conversation. And so from there, we quoted the authority, EPA, Heart Association, Lung Association. So now we've quoted an authority. This is not coming from us. We have a device that generated a report and we're showing them that's not from us, right? And it's not just me saying so. And they're like, and so the conversation goes, you know what? Would you like to take this any further? Yes or no. Hey, you know what? This was only a 30-minute snapshot. And these levels, although they're high now, they could either be higher layer or they could be lower. It's only 30 minutes. I suggest that we maybe do a little more in-depth testing. I've got some options. Would you like to go over those? You show a page, they pick an option, and then you can leave that device there for 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, whatever it is. They'll pick an option for that. And now that allows you to have the deeper conversation about looking at the mechanical safety, the building safety. So it's an easy conversation to have.
John, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my goodness, like how simple was that conversation? There's a template there, right? You're asking permission, you're setting the table, you're doing what you're trained to do, you're asking the next level. If I do see some, I love that. It's a brilliant template and it seems so easy and it flows, right? And
it does. Now I've been practicing it for a while.
Yeah, you have, but mentally there's a template there, right? There's a natural inherent, just a very natural conversational flow to that.
Yes.
And awareness, right? It's awareness. It's like, hey, this is actually what I do. This is what I can do. And you step by step, it's a natural progression and it's brilliant. And thank you for sharing that. Cause that's what I wanted to get at. Like, these conversations are mysteries to a lot of people, right? That are in this trade. It's like a mystery conversation. I'm afraid to start it. How do I go? So the new flat rate bundles this in your training. Tell me the connection with new flat rate and the connection here with that conversation. Where do you go?
Yeah, so it's on a tablet, and then you have to be using the new flat rate already, whether it's for HVAC. So there's HVAC equipment, plumbing, so whatever module you want, you have to start there. And then the IAQ building science module it will be added to your account. And so we sell that. But in that comes all the training. I mean, we do script training, we do process training. We've got a script and a process to handle warranties. That's unbelievable. Who likes warranties? And typically you don't make any money and they're a pain in the side. We've totally changed that. And you know, here's another thing. I just did a talk for the TSMs at Amana Goodman. And one of the topics on the table was system performance and IAQ, how they tie together. But the other one was maintenances. And did you know? So here's some statistics real quick. Are we doing okay on time?
Yeah, we're fine. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So statistically, it costs a contractor about $250 to put a truck and a technician in a driveway for 45 minutes. That's what it costs. By the time somebody answers the phone, stock, gas, the employee, windshield time, all the stuff that it takes to run a business, $250 to put a truck in a driveway for 45 minutes. Now, that being said, typically we sell the Dynamic Air Comfy Cozy Maintenance Club, $240 a year, 2 visits. That's $120 a visit. If all you did is went in, did your maintenance, maybe change a filter, and got out within that 45 minutes, you lost money.
Yeah.
So why do we have maintenance agreements? Customer retention, keeping that relationship. We want that demand service when it comes, and then ultimately the equipment replacement. So that's typically the reasons why we have a maintenance agreement. I work with a company in Del Rio, Texas. They had 2,800 service agreements. So with those statistics involved, and all they did was 2,800 maintenances in and out in 45 minutes, that's a huge amount of money that they lost. So we have departments within our company. Also, traditionally, it's been said that so your exit strategy, when it's time to sell your company, you want to retire, and they try to place a value on it. That part of that equation is how many maintenance agreements you have. That is part of it. Not as much weight is given to that in today's market, because you got 2,800 service agreements, but they're hemorrhaging money. That doesn't put your company a lot of value. And so a service department should be profitable and be able to support itself and stand on its own. Your installation department, same thing. They should be profitable, be able to stand on your own. Your sales department, typically, generating enough, converting enough leads into sales, should be able to support itself. Now, some companies do it better. A lot of them are commission based. So if they don't sell, they don't make a lot of money. They might get a stipend or whatever. So that supports itself. Maintenance department, total failure, total loss of money. They look at that as a lost lead. It doesn't need to be that way. A maintenance department should stand on its own and be profitable and not be propped up by the other divisions in your company. But yet that's the way we run stuff. And so in the new flat rate, we flip that. It's like, no way. You need to be showing options on every single maintenance call, and do it honestly. It's built on honesty and integrity. So if you genuinely see something that needs attention and could be a failure in the next week, month, or 2 months, because you're not going to be back for 6 months, last thing you want to do is leave and not say anything and have a service call the next week. And it's like, oh, that darn maintenance guy. And so we should be showing options to keep, we're maintaining a piece of equipment. And so if there is genuinely not anything, show an enhancement. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, everything is running great. I am really happy with the condition of your system. However, I'm a little concerned. I did notice that we are lacking, and we should have surge protection on every piece of equipment out there, especially nowadays with circuit boards and availability. You can't even get them. One brownout or an electrical storm and you've lost your board. We should be showing a page for surge protection on every piece of equipment, meaning the furnace and the condensing unit. Hey, you know what? I noticed that your filtration isn't quite where it needs to be. Show a filter page. So I went out with a guy, and it was in Minnesota. He's a maintenance technician, and that's a thing now, maintenance techs. You don't want your high dollar service tech running maintenance is also, but they do that. Maintenance tech brand new. I got in the truck his very first day in his own truck. Our very, very first call, we did a maintenance. He's really good. He's doing combustion analyzing, checking amperage and the flame sensors and blowing out the barometric tubing. He's really doing just a great job. And I said, hey, you know what that is? He goes, yeah, I think it's an electronic air cleaner, right? And I go, yeah. Do you know what else it is? He goes, no, what? I said, it's a boat anchor. He said, it's doing nothing. I said, let's get through our maintenance. We're going to show a filter page. He's like, oh, okay. So we go out to the truck, we pull up the app, we practice. Before we go through with it, we go back. Mr. Homeowner, do you have a minute? Your maintenance went great. I'm a little concerned. I found a fault in your, oh man, I forgot what we call it.
Electronic air cleaner. Was it the, what would you call it? Yeah, what do you call
yeah,
it?
your air clean device.
Air cleaning device.
Right. Because we use verbal packaging.
Okay.
And so
Gotcha.
rather than call a capacitor, we say what it does in the system it's in. But anyway, and hey, but don't worry, we got some options. So he pulled them out and he started talking about it. She goes, the gentleman says, is that why my house is so dusty? And so typically I won't intervene, but I asked permission. I said, yeah, the system you have in there now is antiquated. It's old technology. And basically it's making little particulates out of bigger particulates. That's absolutely why. And he goes, man, my wife is constantly dusting. And so if we didn't bring that up, he wouldn't have brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
He picked a platinum option. It was a $2,400 filter install. So it needed some sheet metal because it was a basement set. His very first call ever, his eyes lit up. And I said, was that hard? He is freaking killing it right now. He's killing it for that company. He's on track to beat the service guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Offering duct cleaning. It's real easy to offer a pull and clean on a blower assembly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Your air movement system needs some attention. At pull and clean, $1,200. He's killing it. And I've got guys all over the United States doing the same thing.
That's awesome.
It's a process, but a maintenance company should be able to support itself. That's the way you do it.
And to your point, it's a process. And this is, again, the new flat rate system is exactly that. It's a system. You guys don't control the pricing because you got contractors all over the country that have different pricing structures, right? You basically.
Correct. We are not a pricing company. We're a software and development company.
Gotcha.
And so all the pricing is based on them. So so a service call in, let's say, Dallas, Texas, their minimum ticket might need to be $350. That's what they need, a minimum ticket to be profitable. So we start there and we've got 5 options. And so most companies do good, better, best. And so that kind of like you take the top and the bottom out, that leaves you with 1. That's still kind of putting the customer in a corner. We do 5 options because you take the bottom and the top off. Now you still have 3, and you'd be surprised how people go up.
That's wonderful.
But so in Dallas, Texas, his minimum ticket might be $350 to be profitable. That's fine. That's where we start. We go up from there. In New York City, their minimum ticket might need to be $800 because every service call is a parking ticket.
You can't forget that.
Right?
Gotta build that in, right? You build that in. It's a given.
You gotta build that in. It's either that or park, 2 miles away and carry your ladder and all your tools, or just pull up in front of the building and take your ticket.
That's wonderful. I so appreciate this conversation, John. It's relevant now more than ever, in my opinion. And I'm so happy to hear about what you've done, with your dynamic air consultants, and then with the new flat rate system. It sounds like an exciting system for someone that needs just a little bit of structure or help or go to that next level. So what's the best way to contact you or find out more about what you do and or the flat rate? Where can somebody go?
Well, the website for the new flat rate is newflatrate.com, or you can go to newflatrate.com/IAQ, and it'll take you right to the IAQ part of it. We have a wonderful sales team there. There's no obligation, no pressure, but you can call in and get a live demo, and the gals there in the office will take you through and show you how we put everything together and how our algorithm works to make the menu pricing. Absolutely no obligation. We are not a high pressure at all. We just like you to come and have a look and see how that works. So and then The Amana Brand Business Academy and the Business Goodman Toolbox are both the mechanism for Dyke Amana Goodman people to be able to see our class. And my next one is next week in Wooddale, Illinois. So, and it's sold out. I'm like, wow. So
Wow.
it's really
Awesome.
People are tired of Zoom meetings, but or virtual, type of training, if you will. And so I was like, wow, full house.
That's
So
wonderful. Yeah, I think everybody's anxious and ready to see everybody else in person now. Yeah.
And then my company, Dynamic Air Consulting, at Yahoo, AOL.com, old school. But I can give my phone number. I take calls from everybody. If you've got a question or need to be walked through a process or whatever, that's 505-652-8119. You can go ahead and plug all that stuff in if you want when you take this live. Or are we live?
Well, it won't be live by the time somebody sees us, but it's okay.
Okay.
As long,
Awesome.
don't change your phone number.
I won't.
Hey, one last question before I let you go. So, what gets you excited about this trade going forward? What do you see now that just captures you and just like you get excited about with our trade and what you're seeing now? What is it?
I'm in legacy mode, so training the next generation just really does it for me. I'm seeing there's a group of guys out there that are just all in. And I'm on lots of different forums, but I see guys and they got that glare in their eye and they're like excited, and they've got flow hoods and blower doors and they're doing load cocking. They're doing it right. And I see these guys and I tickled pink. I joke with them. It's like, I've had a blower door in my hand for like the last 20 years and they're just getting their blower door. And I said, I see a lot of myself in you when I first got started. So there's a zest for knowledge and just doing the right thing. So that excites me. And just really being able to help people. I mean, I love that. And whether it's on my own or if I'm doing field coaching or out there with the guys and just training the next generation, that's exciting for me.
Awesome. John, thank you so much for this conversation. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. And maybe we'll pick another topic and do this again.
Sounds like there's plenty to go with. I look forward to that too.
Absolutely.
Take care, John.
All right, we'll talk soon.